How's it going, guys? I hope you all are having a wonderful day. So finally, the long-awaited patch is out. A 15.69GB patch. Patch version 1.8.3.0 is out now. It has varieties of fixes. Before anything, I'd like to welcome you to the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, I suggest you do subscribe by hitting on the bell button so that you get notified for future releases. 2 updates rather than 1 update. The minor update is a 676 megabyte update on the Microsoft Store. When you access the Microsoft Flight Simulator application, it's going to guide you back to the Microsoft Store to update this 676 megabyte update. Once this update has been done, you're going to then get access towards Microsoft Flight Simulator where you can install this update, which is the 15.69GB update. It all depends on your internet speed. Make sure you have a good internet connection. I'd recommend you to utilize an Ethernet cable for faster downloads. It took about less than 30 minutes for me. In regards to the patch notes, there are varieties of improvements that have been made for this specific fix. Asobo has been quite transparent with the community by welcoming all kinds of feedbacks, and based on all the feedbacks that have been received from the community, there have been varieties of improvements that include performance improvements, enhancements on the ATC sector, user interface, aerodynamics. Many improvements have been made towards the aircraft section that include cockpits and visuals, general aviation systems, general aviation avionics, airliner systems, airliner avionics. To shed some light on what exactly have been fixed for this specific patch, there have been varieties of performance improvements, mainly focused on overall performance optimizations, system load times that have been reduced, the optimum utilization of the CPUs specifically under the airport scenes. We have experienced under many of these handcrafted airports where the frames per second as well as the utilization of the CPU have been dramatically different. They have been taken care of. There have been reduced amount of the GPU, which has improved the performance of the GPU in turn. The optimizations of the memory in order to utilize the software memory footprint have been enhanced with an upscale performance on memory limited computers. All this falls under the performance improvement. Under the ATC section, there was a lot of confusion for the phraseology which the system would utilize that would confuse the end users like us. Now there have been a few changes in the ATC where the Azure speech has 3 different voices. The gender is based on the avatar of the pilot as well as the co-pilot. There were some mixed messages there. The voice pack has been rectified. Under the user interface section, there have been numerous changes which include active pause button that has been added in the toolbar, the pause button that's been fixed in the content manager screen, filters and sorting functionalities that have been improved in the marketplace that can help the end user choose which developer or what type of add-on to purchase. There have been enhanced support for gamepad navigation in different menus. Under the aerodynamics section, there have been few improvements which include wind turbulence simulation to reduce horizontal turbulences. The simulation of low RPM piston engine vibrations under the cockpit has been added. We should also expect to see simulation of water particles that have been added under aerodynamics. Asobo also has noticed few changes under surface frictions as well as braking distances, which has been fixed. The live weather wind offset during higher altitudes, specifically under American region as well as the Asian region, has been rectified. There have been vast improvements under the aircraft section. Under the cockpit visuals and animations, the Cessna 208 Grand Caravan, the Savage Cub and Boeing 787 have had many fixes which include incorrect airspeed indicators, turbo mode which has been removed from the dashboard, and also the MCP buttons that can improve visually for the Boeing 787-10 Dreamliner. General aviation systems have a lot of enhancements under different plane models. There have been numerous issues that fall under management improvements, windshield, de-icing, engines being shut down, improvements in propeller sounds, and many more areas. Under the general aviation avionics side, the big jumbo jets have seen vast improvements under airliner systems. Boeing 747 has seen improvements that include rear wheels that have been fixed, the battery button display that has been rectified. Boeing 787-10 Dreamliners had many bugs where the auto throttled bug has been rectified, center tanks that would drain first when decreasing fuel quantity via fuel as well as payload menu has been rectified. Auto throttle is now automatically disengaging when landing and engages accurately during takeoff roll when conditions are met. Under the airliner avionics, on a general aspect, the weight is better taken into account for speed calculations. Under Boeing 747 specifically, the FMC now would allow to activate approach without going into the route page. The runways are now displayed in correct order in the FMC. Also, the cruise altitude would no longer automatically be filled in the FMC. Under Boeing 787-10 Dreamliner, there have been fixes towards wrong flaps valued, which was displayed in the FMC takeoff page. The direct-to-flight plans can now be entered in the FMC and many more areas. Airbus A320 has numerous changes as well, which include target altitude that can be changed now when the AP is disabled, when autopilot is disabled, flap indication works accurately. There was an issue that has been fixed with a missing runway when a departure runway was already selected. Under the cosmetic areas, there have been fixes towards freezes that have been caused by glass cockpits. The travel to feature would no longer disengage autopilot when utilized. Weather, which is another key area in Microsoft Flight Simulator, has been fixed, where the issue with inconsistent wind has been rectified. Under the services section, multiplayer servers have been fixed and upgraded. There were issues where multiplayer users like us could not see few players in the maps. Marketplace has seen significant changes, which include fixes for performance issues after downloading an item in the marketplace. When an add-on was purchased outside the marketplace, it used to have an impact in the filter and would be considered a community content. That has been utilized, that has been fixed. There have been few changes in the content manager where the downloads would be paused during installation. Third-party content thumbnails would not be displayed all the time. Under the localization aspect of Microsoft Flight Simulator, there have been varieties of fixes under different multiple languages. Accessibility issues where the subtitles have been enabled by default. Under the camera section, the rotation clamp on the instrument cameras have been removed. The pilot camera position can now be saved or even reset. Push strips had an issue where the user could not see what they have accomplished, and the fixed leg completion has been taken care of. When all the activities have been completed, the end user can see the achievement unlocked. Under the mapping section, which is one of the most prominent items in Microsoft Flight Simulator, there were a lot of mixed messages wherein city houses from the UK would appear in US suburbs. That has been rectified. There were many bridges which were longer and were less prone to having a gap, which has been taken care of. So that's pretty much the update for now. There are many more updates to come in the future. This is quite a patch and certainly should take some time for you to download the 15.69GB patch. I hope you enjoyed this video. There are many more things to discuss about Microsoft Flight Simulator in the future. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. Have a good rest of the day and stay tuned.